let's just warm up the upper body a little bit. Come up into plank position. We're going to shift back and forth between the plank position and the downward dog. So shift your weight way back. Inhale. Exhale into plank. Inhale. Exhale. Let's continue like that. A couple more times. And try to really press the body as far back as it will go. And focus on using your back muscles more so than your arms. Then push back and hold. So we're going to focus on the transition between the downward facing dog and the upward facing dog. And come back into plank. Let's place the knees down, quick little stretch. And then shift your weight forward. Okay, so let's make sure that the knees are behind the hips, the pelvis is slightly tucked, and the shoulder blades are down. Now place the elbows right underneath the shoulders, and just bend, bring it back a little bit so they're kind of right under the shoulders. And let's bend about halfway down, and then come back up. So you can start with this. Now as you're doing these, try not to let the hips sink first. Try not to let the hips stay up behind you. So try to kind of bring the entire body down at the same time. Okay? So the hips and the chest come down at the same time. And try not to let the elbows turn out. Keep the elbows turned in. So we're working our way towards a clean Chaturanga Dandasana. Down and up. Let's do one more. And then back. So building up the upper body. Very, very important in order to do a nice proper Chaturanga Dandasana, having nice strength in the back and in the arms. Let's lie down all the way on the stomach. And we're going to do just kind of like the bottom end of that, right? So this would be the bottom part of the Chaturanga. So leave the knees on the floor. Turn your elbows in and push the elbows back. Pick up your hips only. Now if this is really challenging, you can just stay right where you are. If you can come up a little higher, lift the chest. But don't drop the hips, right? So we're lifting up the hips and then just the chest and hold. Let's do little pumps here. Keep breathing and keep the shoulders down. Good, now let's push all the way up and push back. Nice deep breath, try not to hold the breath. Let's come back down, make that just a little bit more challenging. So come all the way down. Leave the knees on the floor, just like before. Pick up the hips, then pick up the chest, and then pick up the knees. Try not to drop anything else, right? So everything's about a few inches off the floor. Hold, and little pumps. Keep breathing, then knees down. Sit back and stretch. Okay, so let's put those two together. We'll put together the downward facing dog and the down part of the Chaturanga. Okay, so we're in plank. We do the downward dog, back into plank, and here's your breakdown. Knees down first, lead with the chest, bring the hips and the chest down at the same time, and then come back up. So once you're able to do this, fairly easy. So remember, chest and hips touch at the same time. Come on. Then you can try to fall. And then up at the same time. Now, you may be able to come down, but not up, right? So what you would do is on the way back up is you would leave your knees on the floor, lift the chest and the hips, and then the knees. Okay? So downward dog, plank. You can put the knees down or not. Come all the way down. You can leave the knees on the floor, pick up the hips, pick up the chest, and back. Or down, pick up the hips, pick up the chest, pick up the knees, and up, ooh, and then back. One more time, down. Now slide the body forward, and come up into upward facing dog. Back into downward dog. So plank, Knees down or not, come all the way down, slide the body forward, and upward facing dog. Down, downward dog, plank, chaturanga, slide forward, upward dog. One more downward dog, plank, knees down, have the palms facing each other, take a nice stretch. And come up to a sitting position. So you can do the different variations over and over until you feel yourself strong enough to progress to whatever the next step up is. But it's always better to do a pose at a basic level really well before you move on to a more challenging version of that pose. Okay, let's take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. I'll see you next time.